Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
And welcome back to Charlie Jordan Field here on the campus of Shiloh High School in Snellville, Georgia for this UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. It is Kalonji Pro-Profile taking on UMAFC, sponsored by Images Frozen in Time. Larry Weber alongside Andre Bomar here on ASMG TV. Thank you so much for coming along with us for this doubleheader here at Charlie Jordan Field, and it was a doozy in the first of this doubleheader with SSL defeating North Georgia United 3-1, which was a massive result for SSL. Really going to change the table. You take a look at the updated table as it stands right now. That win allowed SSL to jump up to 10th spot and just points away from North Georgia United, only 2 points, and they could find themselves somehow from the bottom of the table into the playoff structure.
Yeah, they might need a little help to get there, but they're playing themselves into position to do so, and it's been quite a remarkable thing after such a slow start to the season for SSL. But now we have a major game here with UMA against Kalonji Pro-Profile, two teams with high ambitions. UMA could go towards the top of the table with a victory here, but Kalonji Pro-Profile are chasing Portros FC, though they do have 2 games in hand, and so those games will be made up on the next 2 Wednesdays. So if they make up those and continue to win out, Kalonji Pro-Profile control their own destiny. But if they drop points, that starts to open the door a little bit for Portros.
Absolutely. You take a look at those standings. Potros FC, like you were saying, Trey, they're at the top of the table. They have 24 points. They played 11 matches. Kalonji Pro-Profile have only played 8 with 19. Everybody else is pretty much in that same boat of 10 or 11 matches played. The only other team with games in hand is Albion SC Atlanta. They've currently have played 9. But you look at the rest of that top 8 that would move on into the regular season playoffs. Kalonji Pro-Profile, Georgia Athletic with that massive win yesterday over Dalton United, putting themselves into 3rd place. Georgia Revolution very quietly in 4th. Laminio, Georgia falling last night at Otis Spencer Stadium. That was a massive loss for Laminio, Georgia, sitting in 5th. Dalton United has fallen down the table throughout this season, currently in 6th. UMA, they've also quietly fought their way into the playoffs, currently in 7th.
Yeah, what a great season so far for UMA and Coach Andrew. He's done a fantastic job down in Seal, Alabama with that club. And today they have a really huge test against Kalonji Pro-Profile. But yes, some surprising results, particularly yesterday. A game that we did do is Georgia Athletic with an emphatic victory over Dalton United. And it's amazing to see what's happened with Dalton United, who were flirting with the division title this season. But they have really gone off the boil here. And they had a very poor game yesterday, or should I say Georgia Athletic had a fantastic game.
Absolutely. We will look at the lineups before they start the opening ceremonies. One note, a scratch for UMA. Fletcher Clifford is scratched due to injury, and that will allow number 26, Adam, to come into his place. So Will Adam will replace Alex Fletcher Clifford, who's also the captain. So that will be a bit of a change for this UMA squad. We'll talk more about it here in a few minutes. We'll step away for the opening ceremonies here at Charlie Jordan Field. Opening ceremonies just finishing up here at Charlie Jordan Field, home of the Generals in Snellville, Georgia, for this UPSL Georgia Premier Division action sponsored by Images Frozen in Time here on ASMG TV. And like we were saying, Dre, this could very well define the trophy in this spring season, as Potros is, out in front significantly. Kalonji Pro-Profile, yes, they have games in hand, but they've got to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing here with this game here. It's a massive, massive game for both teams. UMA with an opportunity. No one expected them to be in the position that they're in right now, with an opportunity to go towards the top of the table with a positive result here against Kalonji Pro-Profile. But Kalonji, who are trailing behind Potros right now, though having 2 games in hand, doesn't mean that they automatically get those points. They actually have to win the games and get the points.
And like we've talked about several times throughout this season, or at least the last few weeks, Dre, it's Kalonji Pro-Profile that are playing with that heavy heart, losing David Magala a couple weeks back due to tragic events, and having Lionel Sakui coming back in to take over responsibilities in goal due to that loss. And they were a little shaky that first week coming back, but they've started to get back into that Kalonji form.
Yeah, it's a very, very emotional time. This is a guy that they've known since he was a child, at the Kalonji Academy. And, he's well known in the footballing arena here in the Southeast. And it was a very, very sad thing. It affected the players quite a lot. So I'm sure that there's a dedication for David that this team is going to be playing for the rest of the season. So that is an element in the competition as well.
And it's going to be Kalonji Pro-Profile to get us underway. They're in the white kits, moving from right to left. UMAFC in the black kits, moving from left to right. Kareem Tamimi over the ball, ready to get us underway. Underway here at Shiloh High School.
Got to remember that we do have some of the players that Kalonji had unavailable for them during the MLS next season. They're now available, like the likes of Kalonji in the middle of midfield today.
Who immediately touches the ball right there. Kareem Tamimi. Medard trying to fight down this near line, able to do so. That'll be out. It'll be the first corner of the match here, 30 seconds in.
You know that Kalonji's always going to be strong in attack. They're going to push forward, and they're relentless. They'll never stop doing it, but UMA have been in fine form themselves here.
This will be an in-swinger, or excuse me, an out-swinger. It'll be coming from Chari. Here comes the outswinger through the box, and a foul going to be committed in the box, and it will be UMA ball.
So it'll be interesting to see how both of these teams approach this game.
Kalonji Pro-Profile coming in this match 6-1-1, 36 goals. UMAFC 5-3-2, 34 goals. Few more games for UMA. UMA coming to this match with a win over Lamino, Georgia, North Georgia United, and SSL. So they've really been on a positive streak. Anderson will get us back underway. Good header. Velez had a sensational match last outing for UMA.
Yeah, this is a UMA team that defeated North Georgia United 7-2, which tells you a lot about the attacking abilities that they have.
This defensive line of Kalonji a little different than normal. Good ball in from Wilfred Camden, but not able to get it to Kalonji. Schultes really coming into form in that box for UMA. He has really done good these last few matches in that goal. But no Grant Carr today. And no Tachi for Kalonji Pro-Profile.
That'll change how they organize in defense for sure. They do have Kamani Irvin back there.
Velez tried to back heel. Tony Tiente, former Atlanta United 2-man, giving the ball forward to Camden before getting it right back. Tony also providing some training, coaching for some of the younger squads this season, including the SSL squad. That's the one thing that this Kalonji Pro-Profile team does, is it's a family, so these older players offer training for the younger generations.
Yeah, and it's interesting too that, you know, we oftentimes don't mention it, but UMA has the same sort of relationship in their club. They have a very good youth academy there. It's all headed up from the top down from Coach Andrew Hawoon. And a lot of those youth players make it into the senior squad. So there's a pathway that they've already started.
Foul committed there. And you have to say that UMA, along with Legends FC, they really showcased that southwest region of Georgia, and the players that are down there. Legends FC no longer operating, but this UMA FC squad is really, really looking good in not only the Premier Division, but also in Division I with their second team.
Yeah, I miss the Legends in here because that was developing into a really good rivalry here with UMA, both coming out of the LaGrange area.
And now you have both Fountain City FC and FC Columbus Elite in the Columbus, Georgia region, playing both out of Otis Spencer Stadium. You even had at one time both UMA and Legends FC were both playing out of Callaway Stadium in LaGrange.
Yeah, speaking of rivalries, what's developing between Fountain City and Columbus is heating up a little bit too.
Tamimi will lay it off to Wilfred. Camden, he's thinking about it. Deflects off of the UMA man. Now,
chance to break.
Collins able to get it forward. Over here to Medard. Medard able to keep it in. Gets past the man into the 18 box. Tamimi, shot taken in the back of the net. Kareem Tamimi, just like that, with an emphatic goal for Kalonji Pro-Profile, 1-0.
Good grief, Larry, when he got that ball, he had one mind, and it's just shoot. And he turned and shot quickly. No chance for the UMA defenders to react to him. And what a great, great goal for Kalonji Pro-Profile to start out. Here we have it, Larry. Coming in, cutting into that side. He sees Tamimi in space there, gave him a couple of steps, and that's all he needed to turn and shoot. You can't give it to him. When he's in that box, you have to have a man on him.
Kareem Tamimi is a player that I've had the opportunity of knowing and being a part of an organization with him. He is a sensational player and also an even better person.
Yeah, super nice guy, and really a good personality, good leader. Coaches a lot of the academy kids. Kalonji smells blood in the water here, attacking again.
Medard sliding across. Kalonji just trying to acrobatically get out of the way there because he saw it coming. There'll be a throw for Kalonji Pro-Profile in the 8th minute.
There's a pep in the step for Kalonji. I think they know that they can't take these games lightly. They need to get the results. I'm sure that they want to get back to the Nationals, which means, you know, getting it, basically first they get in the playoffs, but they want to win the division and then win the division playoffs to get back into the Nationals, because they've been put out 2 seasons in a row by
Tiente, he misses wildly there. Yeah, Kalonji Pro-Profile, they got to make it to the Final Four, ended in the national tournament in 3rd place several years ago over in Arizona, and they've been trying to get back there ever since. They took a season off after that national title, and ever since they came back, they've been close, but just not enough to get back to that national title. And unfortunately, in the year of 2024, they ran into the freight train that was Soda City FC.
Yeah, I'm sure that's weighing on the minds of a lot of Kalonji faithful too.
And you have to feel for them, because in both of those first round matchups between Soda City and Kalonji Pro-Profile, Kalonji was up in both of those matches and fell to Soda City. But Soda City took advantage the first time in the spring season, weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs, were handed an opportunity. They took it with both hands and made it all the way through. We got to cover the majority of their path to the Final Four. Got to do it again last fall. That ball is knocked out, will be a throw.
They had their first opportunity just a moment ago, and now they get another one here with this throw in the
and
attacking half.
You know, that last season, they went through that national title, and I think they went to overtime almost every single match. So they earned that national title. Let's see if one of these Georgia teams can do it. The last Georgia team to ever win a national title, that was Atletico Atlanta. They used to be called Jenga. That was when they learned that title in 2020, before this Premier Division was formed.
Just a bit mushy. Just that ball over the top almost connected.
Velez and number 19, DeYoy, their top striker, because this UMA, they play in a 4-2-3-1. Kalonji Pro-Profile play in a traditional 4-3-3. But DeYoy is always right there to put one into the back of the net. There's a battle there between Tamimi and UMA. Tamimi comes out on top, gives it back to Irving, Tiente, Irving, Medard. And you really have to say that goal from Tamimi, yes, it was good, but it all came from Medard getting towards the box and getting it over to Tamimi. Tiente giving it over to Demise. Camden. That one makes it from Kalen Kalonji to Medard and back to Kalonji. Pavlotsky gives it back to Kalen. Tamimi across. What a good clearance there by number 26, Adam. Having to come on and clear that ball. Will be a corner for Kalonji Pro-Profile. The late starter, he had to get that one right. Will be a corner, and the ball was thrown over to the far side, but the center official wants it on the near side. This will be an in-swinger. Now want to be knocked away again by Adam from Blake White. And White will have to run that one down, asking for a secondary ball. We'll do this again quickly this time. Blake White in and through the box. Offsides was Tiente, but he hit the American ball post anyways.
Kalonji doing a very, very high pressure press as UMA try to get forward. They're not giving them any time on the ball.
That one is a
mixing it
throw.
in with a lot of quick passing when they do have the ball, Kalonji does. Oh, nice ball over the top here.
Here comes Duyoy. Hits the brakes. Lays it off to Collins. Collins goes back as well to Brunette. Brunette will go back to Owler. Owler's going to look for a nice ball forward, but Tiente will cut that off. Gives Bedard space to work. And just having to run him down is UMA. Almost got there. That was good work from Sosa to run him down. Pavlotsky, White, Pavlotsky again. Tamimi tried to, and that'll be a foul committed by Pavlotsky.
Yeah, you can see how quickly UMA are now trying to close down anything that came in. That ball that into Kalen Kalonji. There were 2 or 3 UMA players that collapsed on him, and they're going to have to continue that. They can't give them any time or space in that attacking third, UMA.
Back to Irving, to Pavlotsky. He gives it right back to Irving. Kalen Kalonji received that one, but can't control it enough. Gives Velez space. Tried to give it to Duyoy, deflected off of Demise. And Irving controls it, gives it to Pavlotsky. Pavlotsky's being pressured. Gives it to Irving, and Irving releases it. Bedard trying to get the ball out and going to commit the foul, or they're going to let that be a throw. Wasn't sure if they were going to give the foul off of Tika or if they were going to throw. Throw it is. Anderson with a good throw forward.
Oh,
good
space.
settle by Yamain. Collins. Tika's down. Oh, and that's a nasty header.
Ooh,
Going to
hit
need the
head.
trainer out for that one, as that is Adam who took that shot.
I don't think there was any malice in the collision.
No, no malice at all. It's just two heads coming together. Center official has his book out. I think, did he issue a yellow card?
He's going to go talk to the Coach Kalonji there. I think Kalonji was complaining about something.
Center official talking.
I think he disagrees with the call.
Bruno's trying to say there was an elbow added.
They're going to talk it out. The referee's doing what he needs to do, explaining what's going on, just listening to him. Now we can get back to playing some football. Good ball in there, but nobody was able to get on the end of it, so.
Kalonji Pro-Profile with possession. Give it from Demise to Tiente. He's going to try to work down the line. Tamimi's trying to get there. Schultes just a step in front to clear it out for the throw.
That's brave work for the goalkeeper there. He had to be sure he could get to that ball, because if he doesn't, he's leaving an open net.
Over here to the near side. Chari gives it to Kalonji, and it goes from Tiente back to Demise and over to Irving. Chari gets it right back. And that's one of the things that this Kalonji team will do, is they will put 5 to 10 passes on you before you blink an eye. Tamimi loses possession. You just have to stand your course and not be overwhelmed by just the rate of passing that Kalonji can do.
They really look up for it today, Kalonji does. But like I said before, we got a substitute coming on for UMA. Not sure if that's tactical or otherwise, but it's early for a substitution.
Very well, he did take that injury knock, and you can see him, he immediately goes to his boot.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So it'll be
Tika
coming off very, very early, only 21 minutes into this match. I say that just like I cannot believe that 20 minutes has already gone by. Ben Slay is who came in for him. We just kind of zoomed through 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's flying by because of the pace of the game. Just similar to the game we just did between SSL and North Georgia. Chance.
UMA goes down. It's going to be a foul, and it's just outside the box.
Well, this is when you would have loved to have had Tony Kim.
Absolutely. This is where Tony Kim operates for, and a yellow card is going to be issued to Chari. Take a look again at this, Dre.
Good ball in. Headed back.
And he just comes from behind.
Yeah, just almost unnecessary to go physical there.
So in the 22nd minute, it'll be a yellow card for Chari. And this is in a very, very positive space for UMA. You're only looking at maybe 5 yards out of the box.
Definitely within range here if they wanted to go direct. Can you get it up and down is the question with pace. Tension
looked
building.
to be Velez that's going to take this. Hits it with his left, hits it off the wall, and it almost finds its way through.
That
It'd be a
ricochet almost
corner,
did
though.
the job.
The wall did the job, as you said.
Almost looped in. He wrong-footed the goalkeeper, and
Yeah, because Sakui had gone the other way. This will be an in-swinger. Coming in from Adam. To the back post.
couldn't direct it. Got his head on it.
That was
an
actually
opportunity
Anderson
gone.
who put that ball in, and Adam was the one who tried to hit it.
Yep.
Sakui runs down one of the balls to get us back underway here at Charlie Jordan Field.
That was
If
a
you're
good
just joining us, it is Kalonji Pro-Profile 1, UMA FC 0. Goal coming in the 6th minute from Kareem Tamimi, excuse me. Kamani Irving likes to go to Chari. He'll get it right back. This time he'll go over to Demise. Demise tried to send this long, gets deflected off of the UMA man and forward. But Irving is going to be there to control it, at least for a second. UMA back in possession. Work through Chari. Chari's got to be careful. He's on that yellow. Kalonji Pro-Profile do not need to go down to 10 men before we even get to the 30-minute mark. That would be a long haul to try to continue this win for them. Kalonji working down that far side. Over here to the near side for Chari. He's going to try to put it in the box. Good ball! And that was almost in the back of the net. What a beautiful ball through, Dre.
Yeah, a couple of Kalonji players had a chance at, I think, Blake White on that far post had the best chance, but it was just beyond him, but a beautifully delivered ball coming in. See, he's switching. He has plenty of room on this left side. Curls it just beyond both of the attacking Kalonji players there, but very, very close to being a second for Kalonji.
Through center circle, and that'll be a foul on Collins by Pavlotsky as he was tugging on his shoulder. Ball forward, cleared by UMA. Sosa gets it to Collins. Good ball forward from Sosa.
Threaded nicely through there.
Had a nice pace to it. UMA receive it.
Nice touch. Oh, got room on this right side.
Good ball trying to get it
Oh.
back in. Didn't get it past Chari the first time. Velez has it. He's in the box. Works around.
Trying to work
Chari
space.
and Irving win the ball for Kalonji Pro-Profile. Allows Kareem Tamimi to work into space. He's going to thread a ball to
Right down the
Medard.
middle.
He has space. He's taken down. No foul by Anderson.
Judge should have gotten the ball there as he went into the challenge. UMA finding some space on this right side.
Velez, and that's a spot where normally that would be Grant Carr's space, not Chari's.
Amazing pace in this game.
Kalonji will give it back to Chari. He'll give it to Tiente. Tiente will go to Pavlotsky. He'll go over to Wilfred Camden Chopa. He looks around, elects to just go back to Demise, slow things down. Tiente, Kamani Irving, Blake White, Chari, Irving. A little slow to Medard, but still got it and got it back to Chari and to Demise. Tiente. A line of 5 men were ready to go there for Kalonji, but Tiente not being able to pull the trigger. They had to reset. You can see those lines forming there, Dre. Here's a ball forward, trying to get it to Camden. He's there, slides it across, but Aller there to keep it from Kareem Tamimi. Be a throw for Kalonji Pro-Profile here in the 30th minute.
Yeah, you can see what UMA is doing in defense. They're not. They're trying to prevent the Kalonji players from getting behind them on the break. And so far, it's kind of worked for them, but it's a struggle. I think it's a rubber band that's bending but not breaking.
Blake White goes down, and he's going to earn the foul off of Aiden Collins. We get back underway very quickly. Threaded to Kalen Kalonji. Over to Medard. And back to Kalen. Fancy footwork to give it back to Irving for a second. Tiente. Give it to Wilfred. Camden lifts the ball forward. Medard's there.
Ooh.
Lays it off. Here comes Blake White. Around the man, slides it through to Medard. Medard's not able to control it, but he still has it. Deflected off of UMA. Having to defend by all means necessary there. Be a throw for UMA. And woo.
Yeah, you're right. Desperate defending there, but effective for UMA. The strategy so far in defense is working, except for the one goal they did get in, but just from a fantastic attack from Kareem Tamimi. But other than that, they've been toe-to-toe with Kalonji so far.
Demise, a few steps in front of Deyoy. He'll let that ball roll out. It'll be a throw. To Tiente and back. Over to Irving. Chari, Pavlotsky, Tamimi. Loses it, gets it back. Gives it to Chari and Pavlotsky. UMA are pressing quite well. It's just the active feet of Tamimi that kept that ball into Kalonji's possession.
Yeah, they're keeping really good organization in midfield and defense there. You saw even with that long ball, they really trying to prevent them from getting behind them. That's what's been so effective for Kalonji during the season.
Good header
teams.
forward from Deyoy. Now that's a
Oh.
perfect ball, just
Oh,
a
he gave
few yards in front of Collins. Man, that was
He had an opportunity there, I think.
a really good offsides committed by Kalonji, but wow. Collins almost picked the pocket of Kalonji.
Oh, good idea. Just couldn't get it, that connection there to the right. It's not the first time I've seen UMA have some space on this right side, the near side here.
Wilfred able to control that ball with his chest, loses possession. Dioy working down the far line is UMA. Sosa, good control of the ball, gives it to Anderson. Anderson gives it back to Sosa. Sosa comes over here to the near side. Slay gets a ball in, controlled shot. What a save from Sakui.
Great move forward from UMA there.
UMA starting to express themselves in the attack. Win the ball right there. Get it forward to Dioy. Dioy gets the touch on it. Lays it off. Yaman gives it to Sosa. Sosa over here to the near side. Slay goes back. Receives it again. Trying to give a runner to Anderson, and Pavlotsky gets in the way. He gets a little shove to the ground. Looks back at the AR, not going to get a call. It's going to be Medard in the box, and Schultes forces him out. It'll be a goal kick. End-to-end action here in the 35th minute.
That was really good recovery from UMA on that break from Kalonji, because he had a lot of space to work with, and he had attackers coming up the middle, but he couldn't get through because he was closed down.
Chari knocks that ball out in front of Slay. It'll be a throw for UMA. Anderson has it. Working over on the left-hand side. That one a little too fast from Velez to Dioy. They didn't get that communication right. Velez not happy with that decision from Dioy, because he was wanting him to make the run.
UMA not sitting back. They're really trying to attack.
Aller gets the ball. He'll go back to Adam, who will send a nice long ball forward. It's going to be headed out by Demis Pavlotsky. Pressured by Slay and Anderson is Tamimi. He gets around both of them. Anderson continue to apply the pressure to Kareem Tamimi. He'll go back to Chari and to Kalonji. Kalonji will go to Demis. Kalen Kalonji to Pavlotsky, to Demis. Tony Tiente. Wilfred Camden Chopa cannot control that ball from Medard. It'll go out for a throw. Hope everybody has enjoyed this Memorial Day week, as we are done with all the holidays and we get back into the grind that is June. Don't forget, in 2 weeks it'll be Father's Day. We will be finishing up regular season and getting ready for the playoffs. It won't be long before 4th of July will be here. Pavlotsky gives it over to Tamimi here on the near pine. Tamimi with a nice ball in, but Medard not there to receive it. It rolls out. It will be a throw for UMA. So Kalonji Pro-Profile, they've changed their formation a little bit. Medard coming from the left side back over to the right side, from near to far. And Tamimi now operating here on the near side. Tony Tiente has it. He'll give it to Demise. Lofting ball to Irving. He's able to get it forward to Blake White. Kalen Kalonji. And once again back to Demise. We have a substitution ready to go for UMA. A second one here in the first half. Remember, in the UPSL system, each team can have up to 7 substitutions per match. Does not have to be in specific windows like professional soccer. It can be throughout the match, like you would see in lower league English soccer as well. Sosa, he's going to thread this needle down here to Slay. Slay will give it to Velez. Velez is right at the edge of the box. He gives it off to Adam. Adam's going to put it into the box. Good ball, just too far away from Deyoy. And out for a goal kick, and it will be substitution time. And it will be the end of the day for Deyoy. So the striker immediately coming off. He's going to be replaced by number 22, Bryant. That's an
again,
interesting decision.
I feel an odd substitution at this of the timing of it. But Coach Andrew may be looking tactically to try to change something up. You may have looked good in going forward. They just have to be careful in defense, because so do Kalonji look good. Oh,
there's an opportunity into the back of the net. Goal for Kalonji Pro-Profile. A miscommunication between Aller and Schultes, and you can see they're still having the conversation, and it will be 2-0 for Kalonji Pro-Profile.
And that's exactly what I was saying about on the transition, on those breaks, when they come over the top, they can't let them get behind them, because they're lethal when they get that possession there. And like you say, with the mix-up happening there, and then it's just an easy tap in from there.
So Medard, I believe, is who scored that goal.
Giving that up right before halftime, too. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold out. Now they've got a mountain to climb a little bit here, UMA. Got to be really careful.
We'll see how many minutes of stoppage time that we will see. I wonder if, Trey, the thing that came to me when I see Deyoy being subbed off here in the first half, you go back to that little moment where Velez was trying to get the ball to Deyoy and they were not on the same page. And instantly, Coach Andrew making a change from Deyoy. I wonder if it's just, he's just not able to execute the plan that Coach Andrew had coming into this match.
It could be, or it could be that Coach Andrew sees a change he needs to make in the tactics and the formation, and in this case, personnel. It just seems weird, given that his form wasn't bad, and it didn't look like there was an injury situation, but again, I can't read his mind.
No.
And
Yamain couldn't control that, but still in control.
Yeah.
This time he gets a chop. Yeah, it's hard to say. It would be an interesting conversation to have after the match.
Yeah, he obviously sees something that needed changing, and he's pulled the trigger on the substitution. But unfortunately, it didn't help with the the goal, which was a defensive error for UMA for that second goal. But UMA still in this game. Kalonji's right where they want to be. The 2-goal lead going into the half. Looking for more here.
Here's a chance. Tamimi trying the crazy bicycle. Great save by Schultes. It'll be offsides.
Yeah, the follow-up was going to be offside, but what a great attempt there for Kareem Tamimi.
All right, we'll have to watch it.
Forced
Anytime you successfully complete a bicycle, it has to be at least watched once.
forced a diving save.
Got it on frame. Schulte's able to get that hand down. Straight up. Headed back. UMA trying to control possession. Sosa over to the far side. Loses it. Does Velez. Tiente. Again, this is not the kind of night that Coach Andrew was wanting to have. And he's already got another substitution ready to go.
And it could be that the game plan he
He
has.
is. Coach Andrew is not looking to take a slow approach to this match. He wants to make changes and make them quickly.
Oh, nice.
Here's an opportunity for UMA. Loses possession, does Bryant. One of the things that UMA could expose is they could expose Chari being on a yellow card. Put some pressure on him, make him because he's a young player, he could make a mistake and earn a second yellow and a red. Medard trying to do the same thing he did just a few seconds ago.
Be careful there. You can't depend on the referee to save you on a situation like that. You have to act on the ball as it comes over the top, because if you don't, you're going to have the same situation you had as the second goal where he gets past you and taps in.
Long ball down the far side. It'll be knocked out for a throw for UMA, and this will be the substitution. It will be a Sosa for a Sosa. It will be Eber Sosa coming off, and it will be Jaden Sosa coming on.
We're in stoppage time now for the first half. 2 minutes of stoppage.
2 minutes to go in this first 45. Kalen Kalonji coming through center circle. Releases it to Blake White. Over to the far side. Back to Kalen Kalonji. Kalen Kalonji to Tamimi. Cleared away by UMA.
Desperate clearance there. Closing down again. Kalonji, they look dangerous every time they go forward. For the most part, UMA are dealing with it.
Just about completed with this stoppage time. And that will be the end of the first half with your score. Kalonji Pro-Profile 2, UMA FC 0. It's very lively, Dre, for the first 45 minutes on both sides of the pitch. You can say just kind of hard done on that second goal. The first goal from Kareem Tamimi, absolutely
unstoppable,
stupendous.
Yeah, unstoppable. That first goal was just great play by Kalonji, going forward. Tamimi doing what he does. Appropriate goal. The second one was a defensive error. The goalkeeper and the defender mixing up allowed the Kalonji player to get past them and just tap in from there. But again, UMA are getting forward. They are getting opportunities. They haven't been able to finish just yet, and they have been pretty efficient in defense. So Coach Andrew, apparently, as we saw with the substitutions, making tactical changes even before the half. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk in the halftime dressing room, and when they come out, we'll see what kind of adjustments he makes. Same thing for Kalonji Pro-Profile. It's probably from Bruno Kalonji, more of the same, really, for the second half, and see what they can do to get these 3 points.
We'll step away for a few minutes, let you get a drink and a snack, and come back for the second 45 here at Charlie Jordan Field. It's Kalonji Pro-Profile 2, UMAFC 0. Welcome back to Charlie Jordan Field here on the campus of Shiloh High School for this UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. It's Kalonji Pro-Profile 2, UMAFC 0. Larry Weaver alongside Andre Bomar. And Andre, you really have to feel for UMA. They were really good early stages of the match. Goal from Kareem Tamimi in the 6th minute. And then that real just lack of communication between the center back and the goalkeeper for UMA allowed Medard to get the goal in the 40th minute.
Yeah, I mean, the difference in the game is a moment of genius by Kareem Tamimi early on to get that first goal, and then a defensive mistake for the second goal. Other than that, UMA have dealt really well in the game, even getting forward and getting opportunities themselves. But it's still an uphill battle. It was always going to be an uphill battle coming to Kalonji to play here. So far, they've demonstrated that they are the best team in the division, and it's going to take a special effort for UMA to get back into this match and get something out of it.
UMA completing another substitution at halftime. Stanton is going to be coming on for number 13, Velez. So Drew Stanton coming on for UMA. That is the 4th substitution that that UMAFC has completed out of the 7 allotted per match. No substitutions so far for Kalonji Pro-Profile. They have a complete bench today. You could watch at halftime, Dre. We were watching Coach Andrew giving a fiery speech to his squad over on the bench for UMA. We'll see how they come out this second half. What kind of fire do they have within them? It'll be UMA that'll get us underway first. They're in the black kits. They're moving from right to left. Kalonji Pro-Profile are in the white kits, moving from left to right. Ethan Bruns, our center official, with the whistle in mouth. And we are underway for the second half here at Charlie Jordan Field. Miscommunication there, and we get an early Kalonji Pro-Profile throw. Back to Kamani Irving. Pavlotsky, Demise. Over here to Camden Chopa. He hits the brakes. Sends one forward, trying to get it to Tamimi. It's going to be cut off by Schultes. Gets around Pavlotsky. Sends a nice ball forward, but Demise cuts off that pass. It'll be a throw for UMA. Like we said, Dre, UMA have looked really, really well these last 3 weeks of play.
Yeah, they seem to be hitting their stride right now, I think, with the playoffs looming. And they're playing themselves into a position where they might be able to get home field advantage.
Brunette gets us back underway. That one nicked off again, and it will be another throw for UMA. Remember, once we get into the playoffs, 8 teams make it into the playoffs. Top 4 teams will have home field advantage in week 1. After week 1, it will be high seed that will have the playoff home field from there out. Kalen Kalonji releases it to Kareem Tamimi. Kareem Tamimi able to control it. The former Atlanta United 2-man lays it off to Blake White. Gives it back to Pavlotsky. Camden Chopa and Demise now to Tiente through center circle. Irving gives it back to Pavlotsky and back over here to White. Again, Kalonji Pro-Profile will catch you sleeping with these passes. They will just put together 10 to 15 consecutive passes and just lull you to sleep before they just pounce. UMA having to stay strong. There's a ball for Tamimi to run it down. Shot taken right into Schultes. Blake White with a nice strike.
Just can't really take any time to relax against Kalonji because they're going to be pressing hard. They're going to take every opportunity for a loose ball to take a whack at the goal.
Schultes will send that one high into the air. Tiente heads it back forward. Bouncing around Kalen Kalonji. Tiente. Triangle passing between Kalonji, Chari, and Tiente there for a moment. Sometimes they get down to the basics. Nice long ball from Irving to Chopa. Camden Chopa gets around the defender, into the box, high, past everybody. Runs it down, wins possession, and will be, are they going to call a penalty? Or are they calling a foul?
I didn't see the indication from the referee.
Did Medard win a penalty?
Looks like he did, but I'd like to see that again. I'm not sure if it was from the initial challenge between the defender and attacker. I don't know. I have to see it again.
Yes, it's already queued up. We'll see what happens with this penalty. Aller talking to the center official about what happened. It was over on the far side. Did not look like a penalty in any way, shape, or form. Saved by Schultes.
Wow.
Great save, young man.
Fantastic save. He had to really stretch for that because it was well hit, low into the corner, but he reached it.
Will be a corner for. Will be an outswinger for Kalonji. Headed, and that one's going to be knocked away. It'd be a goal kick. Now, let's go back and look at the original call. I don't see a penalty in that at all. Schultes will send this out. I would say that UMA would have felt extremely slighted there if that goal would have been converted, Dre.
It's a good opportunity for UMA to have saved that keeps them within striking distance. But
Kalen Kalonji gets that one, and Tamimi was offsides. We'll take a look again at the penalty. What a great save, winning that from that Blake White. Didn't do a lot of stutter steps and all of that. He just came up and took the shot. UMA. Advantage played. Good ball forward, but Sakui able to grab it. Sakui having a very quiet night tonight so far. Win possession back off of Tamimi. Back to Schultes. Tiente winning that one. Blake White takes a shot. And what another fantastic save from Schultes.
Yeah, Kalonji attackers are finding that little bit of space that they need to turn and take their shots. And as tough as it's going to be, UMA are going to have to try to keep those attempts closed down.
Here's a chance. Demise with a hard tackle on Yamane. Kareem Tamimi working off of the near line is triple teamed, loses possession, goes all the way back to Demise. He's going to head it back to Lionel Sakui. He'll just lift it over to Chari. Again, thank you all for joining us here at Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School for this UPSL Georgia Conference action. Kalonji Pro-Profile 2, UMA FC 0, right here on the ASMG TV network. Quickly down the line, but it's going to go back to Sakui. Nice ball lifted forward, headed back. Tamimi lays it off to Kalen Kalonji. Kalonji. He's going to light it over to Chopa. Camden's pass gets headed away. He'll get to do another throw. Tiente. Give it to Kalen Kalonji, and he'll just pass it back and forth for a moment. Demise now over to Kamani Irving, who's standing in center circle. Passing between him and Pavlotsky. Now Chari gets involved. Tiente. Over to Wilfred Camden. Camden will give it to Pavlotsky. Pavlotsky to Tiente. Tiente, the veteran, will give it back to Demise and quickly over to Irving. Tamimi one times it to Pavlotsky, who gives it right back. And again, Pavlotsky over to the far side. Shot taken over the bar. Good movement. Up. Really good movement from Kalonji Pro-Profile right now. A new ball coming to Schultes. Ben Schultes having a good second half so far. Able to save a penalty and a couple other shots on goal. Goal kick. Nice long ball out to center line. And we're getting word through the wire on, and the shot in the back of the net. Another beautiful goal for Kalonji Pro-Profile.
It all came from that first move that he made to get around the defender, and after that it was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and really nothing he could do in the goal to keep that one out.
Another ball over on that far side, Dre. And just slots it through to the back of the net. Another goal for Medard. 3-0. For Kalonji Pro-Profile. They are starting to step away, and this is not what the likes of Potros FC wanted to see, as they are out in front currently. Center official over having a conversation with the fourth official. Underway.
I'm not sure what that was about, but
yeah, I'm not quite sure. So in the 57th minute, Medard with his second of the night. As I was beginning to say before Medard decided to score another goal, we got a final through the news wire. Georgia Revolution 2, Albion SC Atlanta 1. Another win for Georgia Revolution. Here's a chance for Tamimi. Great save by Schultes, or that would have been 4.
That needed saving, too, because it was headed goal bound. And that's a good result for Georgia Revolution. That keeps them in the hunt for one of those home field advantage spots for the playoffs and outside chance at the title.
This will be a in-swinger from Chari. To the back post, headed away by UMA. Kalen will lay it off to Pavlotsky. Over here to Camden Chopa. He'll lift one into the box to Tiente. Tiente not able to get there. And it's going to blow the whistle because that was a head injury potentially. He gets up. That was number 26, Adam, who went down yet again. He has been really putting in a yeoman's work. Good chest control there by Brunette for UMA. Kalen Kalonji dispossesses him, makes it back to Sakui. 60 minutes gone, 3-0. Kalonji Pro-Profile. And that ball is out, will be a Kalonji Pro-Profile throw. That will give Georgia Revolution 21 points. And if this match stays the way it is, Kalonji Pro-Profile will have 22 points.
Right, and still have that.
And Potros with 24.
It's Kalonji's title to lose at this point. And teams like Potros and Georgia Revolution are going to have to kind of hope that points do get dropped to give them the opportunity to open the door for them.
Kind of feel like this might go down to the last week. Remember, the last week for Kalonji Pro-Profile will be the Kalonji Derby. Kalonji Pro-Profile versus SSL FC.
Yeah, that should be a really nice, spicy one. Who knows where SSL will be at that time, because they've fought their way out of the relegation area. But it's so tight down there. Depending on what happens between now and then, they could still be struggling with that.
That one will be just knocked out by Brunette. Will be a throw for Kalonji. That will keep Albion SC at the bottom of the table in the relegation zone, along with FC Birmingham.
Took it in the wrong spot, but it was further back than usual.
Yeah, which is rare that you hear a center official make them take it closer instead of farther back.
Yeah.
Tiente gives it over to Chari, quickly to Pavlotsky and to Kalonji. Kalen trying to get it to Tamimi. Tamimi runs out, and he's going to get a foul as he is just moved out of the way there by the UMA man. That was Jaden Sosa, who just tried to forcibly move Tamimi. This one is 35 yards out from Tiente. Let's see what Tiente decides to do. He's set up very short. And he elects to go behind to Pavlotsky. That's an interesting decision. elects not to try to go for the attack. Ball crossing to Irving. Irving not able to control it completely. The center back up there in the attack. Pavlotsky back to Tiente, who will send it long. Grabbed by Schultes. Allows time for Irving to make his way back into his center back role. Camden Chopa coming through the midfield, dispossessed. Tamimi wins it back. Gives it over to Chopa, over to the far side. Man of the hour, Bedard, lifts into the box, headed away. Tiente settles it, gives it to Kalen, and all the way over to Pavlotsky, and gonna slow it down. It's just not in Kalonji's DNA, Dre, to slow down and park the bus. They attack at all times.
They're always attacking. It doesn't matter the score. That's their DNA is to attack.
This one is going to be pushed out to Kamani Irving. UMA not able to hold off this attack of Kalonji Pro-Profile so far today. If they're unable to hold off in this with a draw or a win, then they'll be at home next week to take on Georgia Athletic, a team that is also in a really, really good position right now. Here's Blake White across to Tamimi. Tamimi cannot settle that ball.
Mishit it.
Hits it with his right. He needed to hit it with his left. But Georgia Athletic, another team that is really on a high note right now.
Yeah,
that's going to be an
team.
interesting match.
Yeah, but it's just so many teams with an opportunity for a myriad of different options for them, whether it's the division title, playoff spots, or just survival.
Yeah, right now, Georgia Athletic in a position to host a playoff match. It wasn't that long ago where they were out of the playoffs. Now, here comes UMA. Good ball over, headed! Oh, just doesn't get that one right, did Slay.
Half chance for UMA. Pull a goal back here, you never know.
It's been a while since they've had an opportunity.
Particularly the second half, they've been chasing the game, but here's a good opportunity here down that right side. And just couldn't get it on frame. I think Sakui might have had it covered.
Substitutions finally coming on for Kalonji. And that'll be end of the day for Blake White. He will be replaced by Hilton. And will be the end of the day, I believe, also Kamani Irving. I'll spit it all out, right? Kareem Tamimi was the other player who came off. Here comes another attack from Kalonji. That one is going to be knocked out, and it will be a corner. So Hilton came on, and also Hinani, number 18, came on for Kareem Tamimi. And this will be another corner. Kalen Kalonji coming over to take it. 2 substitutions. Be an in-swinger for Kalonji. Punched away, not completely by Schultes. And that time, Schultes,
the other way.
we have a player down.
Yeah, 2 players down, it looks like.
Yeah. Collins, and I believe that's Kamani Irving. Yeah, Schultes did not have the power of the Spirit Fingers for that punch away, as he missed it. Send forward. 69th minute. Kalonji Pro-Profile holding on to a 3-0 lead. Foul to UMA.
The Kalonji bench not happy with that call.
They did not like that call at all.
Nevertheless, free kick for UMA.
Like you said, Kalonji's got to make up 4 games in the next 2 weeks.
They can't give it away that easily. Here they're getting it back, though.
UMA, nice ball over the top to Slay. What a save by Lionel Sakui.
Another good opportunity for UMA.
Ben Slay had a wonderful chance there, Dre.
Great opportunity. UMA split the defenders around the middle.
Lionel coming in massive there. In swinger, headed away. Crossed the field. Hilton's there.
A couple of good saves from Lionel Sakui in the past few minutes.
Tiente, after having almost
nothing to do for most.
Nothing to do for 50 minutes. He's had, UMA have had a couple opportunities, but it's been a minute since they've had a shot on goal.
It's got to be encouraging for them, too. If they can get 1 goal back, they might be able to have something to look forward to in the rest of the game.
This ball hit with a little too much pace.
Kept it in, but it's going to go to Kalonji.
Hilton, he'll take a shot at it, and he'll just pull that one wide. But that will allow, with that news of Georgia Revolution's win, that'll allow them to jump over Georgia Athletic.
Yeah, every week it seems like the division table takes a big change and turn with teams going up and down. And we also have to remember we have to factor in the head-to-head.
Pretty turn from Hilton. Into the box. No foul that time. Remember, UMA, if you're just watching, UMA did have a save. Ben Schultes saved a penalty from Blake White early in this second half. Ben Slay now, he gets it again, lays it off.
He's got Slay in the middle.
Deflected off and into Lionel Sakui's possession. The defense did its job, just get enough of a touch on that ball to slow it down. Tiente and Kamani Irving slowed down the pace for a second. Allows Hennehy to give it over to Hilton. The 2 new incomers getting possession. Lay it off to Tiente. And to Camden Chopa. Demise, Irving, Pavlotsky through center circle. To Hennehy. He'll slide it over to Hilton. Hilton Tries a couple scissor moves, elects to go back to Tiente. Tiente is going to switch it over to the far side. Medard's not going to be able to get there in time. Still in possession is UMA. And that one's going to go out, and it'll be another substitution for Kalonji Pro-Profile. It'll be the end of the day for, I believe, the end of the day for Kalen Kalonji, and it will be number 8, Josh Pavlotsky, who will be coming on. So we'll have 2 Pavlotskys on the pitch at the same time. Josh gets his first touch. I think this might even be the first time Josh has played for Kalonji Pro-Profile, Dre.
He almost headed that back to
right to the Kalonji man. Ooh, Ben Slay with another good one, and Lionel Sakui having to be Johnny on the spot. Clear that ball out. Yamane giving it back to Aller. Good ball forward, controlled, just nobody there. UMA getting opportunities, just not able to get a shot on goal right now.
Ooh, lost his
getting
defender.
around the first man, getting around the second man. Good job from the UMA man, standing up the Kalonji Pro-Profile man, winning possession. And we got players going down on all sides of the pitch there. And we're going to get a yellow card to UMA man. Trying to see who that is that received that yellow card.
Yeah, a little bit of a clumsy-ish tackle with
it was
no
number
real
26,
malice there. He's helping him out with a cramp in his leg, and as a matter of fact, right now.
Yeah, it was Idam who received that yellow card. And it was on Pavlotsky, Sam Pavlotsky. Like you said, we've got Kalonji Pro-Profile. They've got 4 matches to make up before the end of this season. And it was Georgia Revolution who gave them their only defeat this season. So as the race gets tight, so does those head-to-head numbers.
The critical games for Kalonji are the 2 games they have to make up. Both will be done next 2 Wednesday evenings.
And Pavlotsky's day is done, and he is going to be replaced by Braden Kalonji. So we've had 1 Pavlotsky and 1 Kalonji replaced by another. So we have a lot of youth on the field for Kalonji Pro-Profile. And this is the scary thing about Kalonji Pro-Profile is they have such a good academy system that they can retool and come right back at you. They do not need a lot of time to retool and refine talent.
Well, that's
that
the way
ball go out, it'll be a
academies are
corner.
supposed to work.
Exactly.
That's why you have academies. That's what builds your club. And you know, some clubs are not clubs. You know, they're just teams. And you know, you have to go out and build them. That's what recreational teams do and tournament teams do. But if you're a pro development club, you want a youth element involved in it.
And here comes Chari. He will do the in-swinger duties for Kalonji Pro-Profile here in the 78th minute. It's low and cleared. Just able to nick that off of Velez.
a foul. Time now vastly against UMA.
Not only is the time ticking away from them, but some of these fouls are just exasperating that, as it's not allowing any chance to utilize that time to attack. It'll be Hennehy who will take this about 31 yards out. Nice strike, but right into Schultes. Good job.
They hit it with some pace, but goalkeeper well placed to catch that.
Looking to find some positive action is UMA. Acrobatic clearance by Tony Tiente. Cleared away once again by UMA. Good battle for the ball. And UMA wins the foul from between Collins and Kalonji.
Good ball down. You need some help, though.
Oh, Slay just not able to control it. Ben Slay has been a real positive note for UMA the second half. He's had some really good opportunities on the ball, just hasn't been able to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, he's one of the few UMA attackers who has been able to find a lot of space here on this near side with opportunities to come in. It needs a little bit more support. But, you know, as this game goes on, I do wonder, you know, we talked about how Tony Kim was missing from the UMA lineup today. What kind of difference could he have made if he was here today?
Yeah, Tony, and Tony's one of those players very similar to Kareem Tamimi where, yes, he can score a lot of goals, but he also has the vision and the ability to put balls into spaces for his teammates to also convert goals.
Yeah, I mean, he's a real player. Oh, unorthodox clearance there, Sakui.
Pavlotsky gives it over to Chari, comes over to Irving, and we make it all the way to Demise, back to Pavlotsky. Pavlotsky comes over here to Camden Chopa, one-times it. Good one-timing pass going around. Offsides is Hennehy. Quickly back underway. Velez trying to thread the needle through, and Kamani is there to just clear it out. It'll be a throw. We have two more substitutions for Kalonji Pro-Profile as they are getting close to that 7 allotted members to come on. This, I believe, will clean their bench.
Everybody getting some time in.
Because we had 6 noted substitutions for them. And this will be the 6th. And here comes, it'll be a long throw attempt by number 17, Stanton. Good throw from Drew, headed away by Kalonji. Hennehy is able to try. He was wanting to thread the needle between the two defenders, not going to be able to do so. Schultes go over to the far side. Not able to win that tackle. And not going to
still
get
down
a stoppage in play. Camden Chopa will come over here to Hilton. They will allow Medard to continue to just roll around on the ground. And now stoppage will be commenced and the substitutions will be allowed.
I think at this point it's a bridge too far for UMA to get anything out of this. And
yeah, we're in the 83rd minute.
Yeah.
I think.
And it's really just a matter of how dominant Kalonji are. It's not a situation where UMA have played poorly. It's just that Kalonji's not letting them play. You know, it's how thoroughly complete they've been today. And I think a lot of this has to do with some of the players coming back from MLS Next that they finished. They've been released to play. We had Kalonji come back, but also the knowledge that the division titles right there in their fingertips.
And it looks like it'll be the end of the day for Wilfred Camden Chopa. And I didn't see, I think it was Medard who came off as well. Yes. So the Medard with the brace today, he is done as well. Job well done for him.
Oh, nice.
Here's a good ball to Slay, but Slay just not able to control it.
He's crossed with himself. He knew he had an opportunity to get around that defender, but he couldn't control the ball.
So UMA, they still have to take on Georgia Athletic next week at home. They'll finish the season away to FC Birmingham.
Two intriguing matchups there. FC Birmingham, of course, are going to be fighting for their lives the last couple of matches.
Yeah, FC Birmingham is a team that is not, they do not have a easy path if they want to find themselves to stay in the Premier Division, as they have to take on Dalton United as well as UMA. So they...
I'll tell you what, with Dalton, you got to wonder which Dalton is going to show up.
That is true.
The team that played yesterday really didn't cut the mustard as Georgia Athletic really took them to task with that 5-0 victory.
And that's a team that has been known to not travel well.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they're able to go to Birmingham and get a win. I'm sorry, they'll be at home. Excuse me, they'll be at home. So Dalton United could potentially have all of their starters at home and could end up sending FC Birmingham to the Division I for the fall season.
Yeah, FC Birmingham have played reasonably well in the last couple of outings, giving up leads late when they could have gotten points.
Josh Martinez having to work double duty as both player and head coach.
Yep. They're going to have a very interesting offseason, FC Birmingham. So many different directions they could go in. You wonder, will they make a coaching change? What kind of personnel they're going to have to make? Changes in personnel they're going to have to make.
And he said Kalonji, they'll play next Wednesday, or this coming Wednesday, against Pachuca. They'll be away to North Georgia United next Saturday. Wednesday next week, they'll be
Albion.
home against Albion, and then the Kalonji Derby to end the season.
And for Kalonji, the equation is pretty simple. Win out and you're division champions. Nobody can catch you.
Potros
Drop
FC.
points. There's Potros right there waiting.
Potros FC, they have Columbus awaiting them because next week they will be home to Fountain City FC, and then the last week they will be away to FC Columbus Elite. So they have two Columbus teams to take on.
I'll tell you what, Columbus played very well in the last couple of matches here. Big upset yesterday.
That's a nasty little challenge on Tiente. Still in possession, just wide. Good shot from Ramos. Just about all done here at Charlie Jordan Field on the campus of Shiloh High School. Kalonji Pro-Profile 3, UMA FC 0. Goal in the 6th minute from Kareem Tamimi. Goals in the 40th and 57th minute by number 20, Medard. Headed away. Kalonji looking for a path forward. Hilton not able to receive that one. Still with possession. Tiente to the far side. UMA receive it. Now Velez trying to work around the man, able to do so. A little too far in front of him, but it's over on the far side. They're still able to have it. UMA not giving up. Velez, I believe that's who's down. Right there where right next to center ref. That was just a bang between two ankles and a ball.
I'll tell you what, I mean, a loss here for UMA is not a disaster at all. They're going to remain in a playoff spot with 2 games remaining for them to play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, really, the only changing that's happening is at the top of the table, just a few players moving around. UMA are going to stay where they're at. They're still in contention. With the fact that UMA is going to be taking on Georgia Athletic. If they could beat Georgia Athletic, they could find themselves piggybacking over them. So it's going to be interesting.
In the last couple of weeks, I think everybody needs to stay tuned because there's things that are changing. The teams are so close together. We're going to be putting in that head-to-head tiebreaker in a number of different situations.
Hilton trying to maintain possession. We're past the 90. How many? 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage is what we will end with. Offsides for UMA. When things are going wrong, they're continuing to go wrong. As they would say, if you don't have it, you don't have it. And today, UMA just did not have it.
Well, I think it's more of a way that Kalonji's been playing more so than anything else today. Whoa, nice
good shot there. He did not get that one. Schultes. That's a nice little flick there by the Kalonji man to cut off that attempt by UMA. Tiente. Pavlotsky trying to get that to Hennedy. He's able to. Schultes had to come out, got that little bit of a nick off of it. It'll be a throw for UMA. Ooh.
Brave move by the goalkeeper because anything could have happened there if he didn't get to it.
If Ben could not have gotten there, it would have been just open season for Kalonji Pro-Profile. Long throw in. We're halfway through the allotted extra time.
You know, we often talk about how the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, but goal difference still is a thing. And so
there's a head. Yeah, goal difference could still come into a factor, and all these teams are very close to one another. Here's a chance. Still in possession. Saved by Sakui.
Another great save.
UMA not giving up. UMA falling, going out on their sword. Still fighting. 92 minutes are gone. It'll be a throw in from Drew Stanton. Another long laser beam throw coming in.
See if they can get a consolation goal here, UMA.
Nice ball in, headed away by Kalonji. Still in possession. Foul committed by UMA. Tiente is going to send this long over to the far side. Chari was offside. We've hit the 93. We're at the mercy of the center official. And he is going to end the match right there, ladies and gentlemen. We will end this campaign. Kalonji Pro-Profile 3, UMA 0. And that is really going to change how things are set. We look at the week. Georgia Athletic defeating Dalton 5-0. FC Columbus Elite 2-0 over Lamino, Georgia. FC Birmingham losing 4-0. Fountain City FC coming from behind, beating Pachuca 4-3. SSL with that win over North Georgia United. And Georgia Revolution beating Albion SC Atlanta 2-1. This match 3-0. You look at next week. Wednesday, Kalonji playing Pachuca. That game is supposed to be here on Wednesday.
It'll be here
at
Shiloh.
8 o'clock. Saturday, June 7th, Pachuca, Georgia against FC Columbus Elite, Dalton United, FC Birmingham, Lamino, Albion SC Atlanta, North Georgia. Kalonji is going to be a critical match if Kalonji wants an opportunity to lift the trophy. UMAFC, Georgia Athletic on Sunday. SSL taking on Georgia Revolution. And finally, Potros FC taking on Fountain City FC. Take a look at the leaderboard as it's updated as this match is over. Kalonji Pro-Profile in second place. Potros FC holding on to that 2-point lead. Georgia Revolution just inches away in third. Georgia Athletic, Lamino tied. Dalton, UMA tied. 8th place, North Georgia United, and they are not out by much because Pachuca, Georgia, SSL, and FC Columbus Elite all nipping at their heels. Fountain City and Albion SC Atlanta really fighting for that last of the relegations, and FC Birmingham way on the outside looking in. It is not looking good for their opportunity to stay in the Premier Division.
Yeah, they need to win out and also get help from other teams, unfortunately, for them to survive. And it does look like Albion and FC Birmingham are going to be favorites to go down. But, boy, it's wide open for the playoffs. I mean, it's completely wide open from 12 on up.
Like we said, top 4 teams will have home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. After that, high seed will be home field all the way through. Winner of our playoffs will represent the Georgia Conference in the national tournament and have an opportunity to win the national title and some of the $150,000 that is on the line throughout the national playoffs. That's going to do it for us here at Charlie Jordan Stadium. For Andre Bomar, I've been Larry Weaver. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get all of our content, live action, podcasts, interviews, highlights, and so much more. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday night, and we'll see you next time right here, ASMG TV.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.